So let's start off with the biggest game of the weekend. It was Kalampa Nkana hosting Power Dynamos Football Club at the Scrivener Stadium or Pachilata or the Nkana Stadium, depending on what you want to call it. Let's get into the tactical details. Let's look at the two lineups that were chosen by Dan Kabwe and of course, Beston Chambeshon is returned to the Scrivener Stadium. Gentlemen, 4-4-2. Waterwalia and Sate leading the line there. Nkana playing a 4-1-3-2. So something consistent about Nkana even with life after Zedi Sailete. On the other hand, Power Dynamos went for a photocopy formation, 4-1-3-2, with Martin Piria and Fuayo Tembo leading the line. Now, Donwell, you look at those two lineups, and I've been thinking for a long time the partnership between Sate and Waterwalia. At some point, on paper it looks like it has a lot of goals, but it hasn't gotten them a lot of goals. What were your thoughts about the two selections by the two coaches?
Well, the two selections were magnificent. I think that the teams were maintained, so to say, from the start of the season. So you didn't expect much change from the coach, especially that he just took in the seat again. So maybe he had the benefit of doubt on the players. He had to look on the team as it was before.
Okay, so that were the two selections. Now, let me bring in Dennis here. Let's talk about the Nkana attack. And because they're the home team, they probably had the initiative to probably take the game to Power Dynamos, and it was a derby game, and probably even the way you win actually matters. Let's look at the attack. So Nkana in the opening exchanges, especially in the first half, enjoyed good ball possession where they had the leverage of playing passes amongst the back four and bringing in Donashano Malama as a link. And you had now this one, Dennis, work with me now. Ngulube again, making the similar run he always makes, making a wide run to the right, and you have Simon Walia who actually runs into the half space, the number 14 there. And there you've got Sate and Water Walia and the number 7, Shadrach Msonda. But what worries me right there is with just the positioning of Larry Walia, he probably knows that Nkana want to go this direction. He probably cuts off a direct pass into Waterwali and Sate in the central areas, and right there Nkana forced to go wide. Could this be what Beston Chambeshi taught the players in the pre-match meeting?
Well, I think as I watched the game and the previous games that I've watched in Nkana when Zedi was there and before, I thought, what can I say? I thought the way Power was playing, they were more tactical, and they started how Nkana were playing more. They knew Nkana will be doing this, let's do this. Because if you see the movements of Rally, Ngwenya, yeah, even Fuayo. Because Fuayo used to drop deep, even the mistake that he made. You know, I spoke to him after the game. I said, Fuayo Wapais, meaning you costed the team. He said that was a tactical thing. I'm serious. That's what he answered me. I said, Wapais a team. No, it's a tactical. I had to do that so that we could come back and then score another goal. Okay. And I was thinking, I don't know what he meant. Anyways.
But anyway, it was a half loaded with opportunities. What's your comment about the Nkana attack, especially in the first half? It was easy going for them. They managed to get a goal, and with that goal meant that they took the lead and the initiative in the game.
Well, I think the players from Nkana had, I would say they had the most motivation in that game because here's a new coach. Each player wants to prove himself, you know what I mean. So maybe the strikers had it to them to say, I need to score in this game so that maybe I make the team as a new coach is stamping his authority in the team.
All right, so let's just have a look at the chance structure for Nkana in this game. They created a lot of opportunities, but let's just take stock of what kind of opportunities and the positions. Now, look at this. Waterwalia missed from inside the 18. He also had 2 gilt edge opportunities outside the 18, the jersey number 10. Therefore, Nkana, it didn't work. Shadrack Msonda was the only one who got a goal with where the ball is. He struck hard and low past Alan Chiwe. But you had also sat there at the back post, isolated opportunity. Ronald Chiwe came in, isolated opportunity, and Simon Walia. Now, you look at that, those were many opportunities that Nkana should have even scored 3 or 4 goals in this game, Dennis.
Yeah, I think from what I saw, most of the chances, especially for Water, his back was always against the wall. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Always, his back was always on the goalkeeper. He was always facing his own goal. Whenever he received the ball, he was facing this side. So it was difficult for him to strike. I think I don't know if you remember, he laid one ball for the diminutive midfielder.
Simon.
No.
Ngulube.
He hit the crossbar.
Yes, that was one of the opportunities.
Yeah, that was one of them.
In that game.
Yeah, because Water was always facing his goal.
Okay, was that a fair return, Donwa, when you look at the balance of play? What Nkana, because Nkana were very positive, very good. They look fresh, as we noted. But those opportunities there, and right there, one opportunity for Ronald Sate Kampamba at the back post, stem header. It was an easy save for Alan Chiwe. But when you look at that, I'm now already asking myself, does Beston Chambeshi need to tweak the way the front line plays? Because if he's going to play with 2 strikers, Sate comes with lots of goals, so does Water. But how do you play them? Should they play square? Who plays in front of who, in your opinion?
In my opinion, Sate is better off playing off Water, because he is a team which has typical wingers in Shadrack Musonda and Simon Walia. These are players that can bring in balls. But from the analysis that you just showed us, the clip that you just showed us, it showed that activity for Water was not mostly in the 18. You expect Water Walia to be much more in the 18, more than the other players. But from what I saw, it was evenly distributed between him and Sate. I think there were only 2 positions, one for Water and one for Sate in the penalty area. We expect much more from the 2 strikers, especially that they are outright strikers.
Actually, I also wanted to bring in this question because I've been looking at Nkana and the way they've been playing with Sate right now. In the past, Sate has been top goal scorer because he's had Festus Mbewe playing the 9, he's playing the 10, or just behind him as a skimmer. And he also had Evans Kangwa, where they formed a telepathic understanding. And then you tend to think, does Beston Chambeshi need to deal with a compatibility issue here? Because, well, one opportunity for Sate in the 18 and one for Water probably is not what Nkana want.
I think, is it well done? You know what? I've followed Nkana, especially from the time that Sate came into Nkana. He's a young boy. I think I knew him just listened. He played with Evans from Chilenge, my neighbor. The young boy the work rate is, I don't know. You can't say anything. Evans works so very hard. Sate is a goal poacher. He will be there. But now the difference now with Nkana, you play Water and Sate. They all want to be there to get a goal.
So who creates space for who and chance
there's
for
There's no one to create that.
Would you honestly feel there's an issue to be dealt with here? Regards those 2?
Well, not really. It cannot be a big issue. I have so much respect for Coach Beston, just the same as I have respect for Coach Zedi Saileti. I'm sure they understand the 2 players, that the 2 players are different players altogether. So definitely, for Nkana to have a much more lethal attack or strike partnership of Water and Sate, Sate must read Water's runs so that he plays off Water, not like being a target man, because even his body structure doesn't allow him to be that kind of a player, I understand.
Yeah. Anyway, let's look at Power Dynamos. The player runs they were making in attack, and probably to bring to fore the menace that Fire was in the flesh of Nkana. Let's look at the player runs of Power Dynamos players when they actually had the ball. So you had Fire Tembo and Martin Piri actually leading the line for Power Dynamos. And one thing, when you look at the Power Dynamos player runs, Dono and Dennis, is that immediately you had Sate dispossessed of the ball, and Power Dynamos began to go forward. You had a situation where Fuayo, playing a central striker's role, started running wide. Godfrey Ngwenya started running central.
Yeah, I think I watched them. I think I could compare the way they were playing, the way Power were playing, to the way Bayern Munich were playing when Guardiola was there. Even the fullbacks, you would see, like the first goal, the equalizing goal, Sumuala was reclined inside central, got the pass from
Lawrence
Chung. Got the pass from Lawrence. Sumuala gave the pass to Fuayo through the legs of Donatiano, because it was so difficult for the Nkana defense to pick who am I supposed to pick, because Sumuala was inside, Lawrence Chung was coming inside. Whenever they had the balls in the flanks, the fullback was becoming like a midfield.
Yeah. Now, talking about that challenge in terms of marking, is that maybe it even got Power Dynamos parity before the halftime break, is that eventually Fire was getting too many chances, would go wide, put in a cross, probably nothing happens. And those were warning shots, Donwa. Then you look at it, halftime, 0-0. Probably Danka would have been the happy of the two coaches at that point in time.
Most definitely he was, because his tactics worked. If you look at the way Power played, we have Mudenda outside, and then Ngwenya was also outside, but he was like a dummy player outside. If you look at what I think Coach Danny did, is that he knew that this fullback, the left fullback from Nkana, Apanene likes going up, okay? So they utilized that space behind him whenever they had the ball, because all the lines for Power Dynamos were moving together. Whenever they had the ball going forward, if the striker had the ball, all the lines were moving forward. At the same time, they didn't leave any spaces. So now what happened was, I think that Coach Danny had two offensive midfielders in Godfrey and Larry Waya in front of Ben Sakala, okay? But now, they didn't encourage Godfrey to go wide. Instead, Godfrey will take up the chance in the middle as Fire draws a player from there, so that Godfrey finds himself alone. And Fire utilized the space well that this guy, Panene, left behind.
Let's look at the chance structure that Power Dynamos had. And after all is said and done, they created some opportunities. Here we go. Right in front of Malunga, the Nkana Gomanda. They got two goals there. One inverted to the right, one almost central there. But Ngwenya there got one opportunity. Bicycle kick, didn't really connect very well with it. Benson Sakala had an effort. He drove it wide. And Fayotembo had the same effort. But that was the only real activity of that half. Only 5 times Power Dynamos went to the Nkana goal. And if you're based on Chambeshi, you probably feel not so good when you look at that they created very little, but they got everything out of the game.
Yeah, I think from what I saw, even the paper, he even confessed. He said that the mistakes that we made in the under-20s is what happened in this game. So he's regretting that, and he's obviously he's a big coach. He's trying to amend.
All right, so let's look at Nkana now. They started playing long all of a sudden in the second half. Of course, after the resumption of play, Martin Peary scored from that opportunity we actually showed you. Now, all of a sudden, and they make some changes. Muwowo comes in. Ronald Chiwe actually comes in. And Harrison Chisala comes in. But talking about something that we saw with the under-20 team as well is that you have one half of the team in their own half, the other half in the opponent's half, and all of them are rushing to the edge of the area, and probably makes easy defending for Nkana, for Power Dynamos there, because White, Billy Mutale, Govenda Simwala, and Lawrence Chunga are actually not being moved out of position, because when they eventually play out, Jimmy Glovu and Fayetembo just put a bit of pressure on Donashano, and there we go, playing long. And once you start playing long, how many players can we remove out of the equation? I don't know if Shadrack Msonde is still playing football if you're playing long. Same as Muwowo, and Diego Apanene now cannot move forward and put in some crosses all of a sudden.
Yeah, pretty much every player in the attack from Nkana is out when they start playing long balls. Shadrack is out. The new guy that was brought in, Chisara, the young man, is also out. He cannot play long balls. And if you see how the distribution of the team was, this time there was an element maybe of panic to say, we are losing this game, so maybe let's put pressure on Power Dynamos. But that made it easy for Power Dynamos.
But when do you start playing long? And did the situation warrant Nkana to actually play long? Or because Power were not even pressing them high.
I think
it was a medium press.
Yeah, I think that's where the you know where the problem comes. You plan, you are at home. You plan, okay, we get an early goal. When we score, this is how we are going to be playing. We play short, or we do short passes, and then we attack. You get an early goal, quite right, and then the visitors equalize. They score again. What next? You resort to, because that wasn't Nkana's game plan.
So, but probably the technical bench should have stopped that if they didn't believe that this is the way the game plan should be moving.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm a coach.
Or it was pressure on the part of the players.
You know, so that's new coach. Yes, you'll be thinking, new coach. What am I going to do? What? Sometimes even me, I'm a coach. Sometimes I'll say, change to partition. You know, like we start forcing now.
Yeah.
Instead of playing to game plan, now you start forcing something that you didn't plan. So when you plan
Can we plan for long balls, don't we?
No.
At what point do they work at, and at what point do we say, okay, let's play long balls? Look, it's the 50th minute of the game. You've got 40 to go.
Yeah.
We started playing long.
Well, that doesn't warrant the long ball. And I'm most definitely sure that it wasn't from the coaching.
It was the player.
It must have been on the players. Here's the situation, ZK. You are at home, okay? The new coach has come in. You want to impress. You want to impress the fans. You want to get the result. The pressure is on you. This is a local derby.
And it's
the
a derby
of Zambian football. You understand? So maybe for some of the players, it was a bit too much to be down at home, surrounded with their own fans. And you know the kind of pressure that is in the Sakili. You didn't want to be
No, I'm this one. Don't know. Even you, I'm sure. I was a player before. You are playing. You concede one goal. You concede the next one. You are on the restart day. I remember some time back. Not even long. You want to dribble everyone, which you can't do.
The winning bonus is about to go.
Stick to the.
Let's look at the match statistics. Hold on to your thought. Let's look at the match statistics and see what the Quito Derby gave us. Now, Dankawe, I'm sure he's smiling, is that I probably won this game without breaking the bank. 9 shots for Nkana compared to 2 for Power Dynamos off target. Now, look at where the devil is in the detail. Now, Nkana had more shots, but Power Dynamos were more efficient. They only had 7 the whole game, but 5 were on target. They got 2 goals out of that. In terms of corners, 5 for Nkana, 3 for Power Dynamos. Look at the crosses now. Diego Apanene actually accounting for most of them. 11 for Nkana compared to only 5 for Power Dynamos. But look at this one. Now, this was war. I don't care what you think, but everyone at Sokone Market and the whole country will know that this was a war. Look at the blocks. 5 for Nkana throughout the 90 minutes. 24 for Power Dynamos. It was war.
For sure.
They really wanted to win.
Yes.
If the winning bonus had to go, it wasn't going to go easily, Donald.
You know, I met these young boys yesterday. I think it was around 17. We met at ShopRite. Fuayo, Mdenda, and Lawrence Chungu. I met them there. I said, how was it yesterday? They said, "Oof, the season is over now."
Okay.
I just laughed and
left. Talking about one important cog for Power Dynamos, 24 blocks they managed to get in terms of their defense there, which was, I think, an outstanding performance. But I don't know in an offensive sense if Dan Kabo will be very happy with those statistics. Let's have a look at the statistics that the man of the match in that back four actually got in. Billy MUTALE played 90 minutes, got a yellow card. It's a derby, who cares? Crosses that reached their target. Now, remember, Nkana got 11 crosses into the box, but only 1 managed to land on the target. And most of the crosses were actually picked in the central areas. And that one cross that actually saw, basically, Sate had a 10 effort on goal. But out of the 24 blocks, 10 to that man there, Billy K. MUTALE. What do you think of the young man?
He did a lot of work. And that shows how much the Nkana strikers, how much they were hungry to score, to get the goals. Because if you can have 10 blocks from one guy, that shows you that the activity was actually in the center, because that's where he plays. Okay? But the unfortunate part, as we much earlier alluded to, was that Nkana's activity wasn't so much in the penalty area.
Okay. So that was the Kitro Derby, ladies and gentlemen.